Welcome in to Anita on the Mark, although today it is Anita on the tee. Although, John, I haven't been on a tee box in quite a while. John Mascari, my co-host, we are previewing the U.S. Open, and it is our third leg of course, all four majors. We've been with you for the first two. We're previewing what's coming up. Of course, tee time start on Thursday through the weekend. It's going to be a good one. But John, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm in my office, dry. It's been another rainy week. It seems like every week has been rain. But this is a fun week. It's Father's Day this coming weekend, and always fun to have the U.S. Open on Father's Day weekend.
Absolutely. So, of course, John Mascari, head pro at Oakmont Country Club, over there near Fort Lee. If you haven't had a chance to play it, well then, it just sucks for you because I have had it. I have had an opportunity to play it several times, and it's just absolutely magnificent. Yes, it is Father's Day, so we want to wish all the fathers out there a very happy Father's Day, and hopefully we are here to help you win some money as well. So let's dive into it. As always, I'd like to start with the top storylines heading into the U.S. Open. Probably none hotter than the guy who is the hottest, and that is Scottie Scheffler, right? 3 wins in his last 4 starts on tour, each by at least 4 strokes, looking for his 4th career major title, and in the 3rd leg of a Grand Slam. I don't think any of us believe that he won't complete that, and has just been absolutely magnificent the last few weeks. Anybody hotter than him right now, John?
No, I can't think of anyone on tour. Honestly, I'm having a tough time thinking about anyone in professional sports that is at the top of their game as much as Scottie is. Right? Between first and second, how big that space is. He has just been unbelievable. Leads in most of the categories on tour. Hasn't missed a cut, Anita, in over a year. He's like a walking ATM machine, right? Just printing money. Won 3 of his last 4 starts. Dare I say, Tiger-esque?
Well, I mean, and that's the debate, right? How dare you say or mention, hey, Scottie Scheffler, just as good as Tiger Woods? In his prime, could he potentially maybe be better than Tiger Woods? Somebody's going to fall off their chair like, whoa, slow your roll, Anita. Like, let's not... I mean, but how can you not maybe anticipate that scenario? I'm not saying that he's there yet, John, but like it's not too far-fetched to think that like that scenario could potentially happen.
Yeah, listen, to talk about like horse racing, he's coming out of the gate. He's making the first quarter pole, and he's leading by a lot. Now, can he continue that through his whole career? We will see, but boy, he is off to a great start for sure.
He is. Another storyline is Jon Rahm, right? 19 straight top 10 finishes on the LIV Tour. Of course, it's not televised, so out of sight, out of mind. But he's just been crushing it on that tour. Back-to-back top 15 results in majors. He's just been brilliant at this championship. 5 straight top 25 finishes. And he's driving the ball so well. And I know we're going to get into some metrics, but that is such an important metric that you need in order to win on this track, right?
Yeah, no doubt. The fairways are tighter than the average on the tour. So we're looking at tight fairways. Listen, everyone who follows golf has been hearing all the stories about the rough at Oakmont. At the Oak Monster is what I call it, right? So keeping it in play, hitting greens in regulation, 2 things that Jon Rahm is fantastic at.
DeChambeau, can he double, right? Clutch par on the final hole to win last year's U.S. Open. And of course, we saw Rory's collapse down the stretch. And we know DeChambeau aiming to become the event's first repeat winner since Brooks Koepka was able to do it back in 2018. He's won a U.S. Open not once but twice. And as again, we know that he's dominant off the tee. Your thoughts on DeChambeau?
Yeah, everyone always wants to go to the long ball, right? 315 off the tee on an average. I've been so impressed by his short game. Chipping fantastic. A little unorthodox putting stroke, as we know, but he's really figured out that part of his game.
Another storyline coming in, and I just mentioned him, and that was Rory. He completed that Grand Slam, winning the Masters, but since then, where's he gone? He's been somewhat of a disappointment, right?
Yeah.
PGA Championship, he had that driver dilemma, and I just, and the mental aspect of returning to the U.S. Open where he had that major collapse could be, I think, a mental strain on him as well. So, is this where you're looking at Rory to rebound, or are you looking at Rory to continue to struggle?
I think he's going to struggle. I don't like how he's hitting the driver. As we just said, being accurate off the tee is real important. It does no good if you're 330 off the tee into the rough. Right. And he's been struggling with that. The rumor has it he shot 81 on Monday. That's what I've heard in his practice round.
Uh-oh.
Yikes.
That's dangerous. And then, of course, last but not least, the other big storyline is Phil Mickelson. Final year of his 6-time major champion. Phil Mickelson's 5-year exemption into the U.S. Open for winning back in 2021. He won, of course, the PGA Championship. That was fun to watch. This is his last chance at winning one trophy that's standing in his way of a career Grand Slam. We know he's 54 years old. He's missed the cut here the last 3 years. So sounds like a very tall task to ask for him to make the cut, let alone complete the Grand Slam winning here this week, right?
This is a golf course that you can't really out magic the course, especially at Phil's age. And we know his record at the Open, right? 6 runners up. Probably the most famous right in our backyard at Winged Foot in 2006 on the 18th hole. But can he slay the demon? I'm not putting any money on Phil Mickelson. Let's just put it that way. But crazier things have happened.
And you mentioned this course being a demon, and sure enough, it is. Oakmont Country Club in Pennsylvania. Many people feel that it is the most difficult course on tour. First things first, John, have you played it?
I have not played Oakmont, no, unfortunately.
But I'm sure you hear again.
Oh my gosh!
In
the golf world, it is one of, if not the toughest golf course. Lee Trevino said they can give them 2 to 3 weeks notice and they can play a U.S. Open there. It is this condition all the time. I've heard stories that they're making the course easier for the U.S. Open, that the members there play it at a harder level than we're playing this week. So imagine playing that type of golf every day. And it is just a bear. Like I said before, the Oak Monster, it's perfect every day.
So it's a par 70, 7,372 yards, punishing rough, narrow fairways, lightning fast greens, a ton of bunkers. And really,
anything else? Right?
It's all combined to keep a lot of these golfers with their final score above par. And we'll see if that's the case this week. The metrics you want to pay attention to, if you want to do your own little handicapping, driving distance, driving accuracy, greens and regulations, scrambling. Interesting, though, John, putting, not such a significant metric here. It's really the least important strokes gained stat. Over the last 6 years, only 3 of the last 6 winners ranking any better than 20th in strokes gained putting. So putting, not a real dire metric to keep an eye on. And I want to get into the weather, but before we do, any final thoughts in regards?
No, I think everyone has a tough time putting there. That's why I think that metric is not playing such a big factor. But bogey avoidance, right?
Do you hear my dog running back and forth?
Oh, you have dogs?
I don't know what's going. He's like
I thought it was me. No,
my light just went. Like he's running around in my studio. My light just went off. I don't know maybe because it's been raining all day and he's got cabin fever. I don't know, but he's being a nut right now. All right, let's talk about the weather. Over the last 5 weeks, Pittsburgh has gotten up to 8 inches of rain.
Yeah.
So they are anticipating a few sunny days, a little wind. I guess 2-part question here. Number one.
Yeah.
you know, in what's expected, there's supposed to be a little bit of rain on Saturday, but like not as much as it's been the last few weeks. But regardless, how difficult is this course going to play, considering that it has been raining there quite a bit, number one. Number two, how much more work does that put on the caddies, because the course is going to be playing differently than what they were anticipating?
Yeah, it's going to play a little longer, right? Obviously with soft conditions. What I find interesting was they cut the rough down a little bit today. I don't know if you saw that. So they're hand mowing the rough. Now, the most, I believe it's 3.5 inches you can get with a hand mower. So they're going to cut the rough down, but it will grow back by the weekend, right? So they're trimming it out, they're thinning it out. The water will help it grow. It'll be thick, it'll be heavy. There's one thing that Oakmont has that not a lot of courses have, Anita, and that's called a sub-air system. So they're able to pull moisture out of the greens. So what you would normally see is, the greens are soft. Guys can fire at pins. Now we're still going to see those firmer conditions, although not as firm as you'd say maybe with no rain in the last 2 or 3 weeks, right? It's not going to be like this tabletop, but they are not going to be soft and spongy. So you're going to have not a lot of roll off the tee. The rough will be thick and heavy, and the greens won't be as slow as you think. So now you're setting yourself up for a challenge off the tee, distance-wise, but also you're hitting longer clubs into still firm greens.
So apparently the greens, they're anticipating Thursday through Sunday, the greens to be running anywhere between 14.5, 14.9.
Yeah, so you see that table right in front of you there?
Mm-hmm.
That is what a green is like. That Oakmont. Right? Have you ever putted on an ice rink before? It's that type of feel. And listen, the key part is going to be guys not so much shooting for pins, but putting their ball in a position where I'm not going to 3-putt, right? That pin is over there. I'm not going to kind of go over there because I know if I miss, it's going to roll off into a collection area. I'm going to be above the hole. Take your par, hit to the middle of greens, and get out of there.
So again, and just looking at the metrics and talking about the course, because we're going to give you our picks and our plays in just a second. Again, I'm looking at driving distance because of the rain. As you said, it's going to play a little longer, so you do want a guy who's going to grip it and rip it. Driving accuracy is going to be so important because the rough is ridiculous. And to me, greens in regulation, right? Where you're dialing it in to where you're placing the ball where you're not going to have to 3-putt.
Yeah, I mean, that is the gold standard for Oakmont. You do not want to miss the greens because you're going to end up in these little shaved off kind of hollows that they have and some of the rough that they have there. And there's zero margin of error. I mean, tight lies. And interesting stat, the last time in 2016, the top 5 people in greens and regulation all finished in the top 10.
There you go. Greens in regulation, the most important metric if you want to do your own handicapping. All right, let's take a look at the tee times. Very important. You want to know when you want to wake up on Thursday morning or where to plan your pickleball matches in the afternoon. So on the first hole, you've got Harris English, Keegan Bradley, teeing off at 7:18 a.m. Following them, you've got Shoffley as well as Bryson DeChambeau. 7:40, Fitzpatrick, Wyndham Clark in Woodland. In the afternoon, off of the first hole, Brooks Koepka at 1 o'clock. Wow, look at this threesome. At 1:25, Hovland, Morikawa, and Scotty Scheffler. That's going to be a good one. At 1:36, following them, Corey Connors, Jason Day, Patrick Reed. And then on the 10th hole in the morning, you've got Adam Scott and Decky teeing off around 7:18 a.m. Justin Rose and Rory teeing off at 7:40. So keep that in mind. Rory will be a part of a morning tee time. And then in the afternoon, Russell Henley as well as Nick Taylor at 1 o'clock. Spieth, Rahm, and DJ teeing off at 1:14. And then you got Straka at 1:25 and at 1:36, Cameron Young. I do believe that he should fare well. At least I'm hoping he does. All right, let's feed our viewers and our listeners some winners. And John, I'll let you start. Who do you have go? Let's start with who you like to finish in the top 20. Give me some guys.
Oh, let's do a little reverse. Let's build it up, right? To
Let's
number
do it.
to the
Yeah,
winner.
give me some of the guys that you like
Sure.
to finish in the top 20, and I'll give you mine as well. So
All right,
go ahead.
So I like Joaquin Niemann in a top 20 finish, 4-time winner on the Live Tour this year, top 10 at the PGA. I think he's, his length off the tee suits Oakmont real well. You mentioned him before when you were saying the tee times. I kind of like Harris English. I think he's playing solid golf. I mean, I don't want to call it a sleeper pick, Anita, but he's just quietly solid all across the board. Top 10 in stroke gains total, great at approach, great scrambler on the golf course, which I think will be important. He's just well suited to the demands at Oakmont. I get a little sometimes nervous with his putting here and there, but for a top 20 finish for a guy who's having a really good year, runner-up at the PGA, 12th at the Masters, I like that pick for a top 20. And then lastly, Mr. Top 20 himself, Tommy Fleetwood. Right? I mean, it's almost like guaranteed money. I hate to say that. That will not hold up in court. But top 5 of the Open 3 times. Last 22 starts, he's been in the top 22 20 times. The guy is an automatic top 20 machine. And when the golf course gets tough, I feel like he rises. He gets tougher. I love those 3 guys, top 20 picks. Now we go maybe top 10. So now we get a little bit more up the leaderboard.
Well, let me give you my top 20.
Oh, okay.
Since we're hanging out with the top 20s.
All right, because I had like a vibe going there. But if you want to go with your top 20, that's okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I like Corey Cott. Hold on one second. Pierre,
this
come here.
This dog is really.
Pierre, come here right now. Come here. Come here, Pierre. Help me with my top 20. Come here, Papa. Come here. Help me with my top. Come here, Papa. Come help me with my top. Now he doesn't. Yes. He's worried. What are you doing? Come on. Nope, he doesn't want to come up. Anyway, all right. I'm going to continue with my top 20. Corey Connors. I like him to finish in the top 20. You get that at plus 175. I also like him to finish as the top Canadian at plus 158. All right. Solid ball striker. I think that this course suits him extremely well. Tied for 8th at Augusta, tied for 19th at Quail Hollow. I think he's really going to make some noise. Wouldn't be surprised if he does better than top 20. Probably my favorite play here is for him to finish as the top Canadian at plus 158. Keegan Bradley, that's right, Captain America. I think above average in driving distance as well as accuracy. Back-to-back top 10 finishes, tied for 7th at the Memorial, tied for 8th at the PGA Championship. I like him to finish in the top 20. And you get that at plus 250. And also, I like his first round under 73.5. That's how I'm playing Keegan Bradley. Also, I like Straka to finish in the top 20 as well. You can get that at plus 170. He's having a career year. Really, ball striking is his strength. 3rd at the Memorial Tournament. He won last month in Philadelphia. He's 1st in greens and regulation. We talked about that metric. 4th in tee to green, 2nd in strokes gained on approach, and top 10 in driving accuracy. So those are a few of the guys that I like to finish in the top 20. Who do you have finishing in the top 10?
Yeah, you kind of stole my thunder with Sepp Straka. We talked about the tight fairways and the greens and regulation being so essential. Top 5 in stroke gains, tee to green categories. So which means he's consistent off the tee, in the approach, and scrambling around the golf course. He leads the tour in greens and regulation. Period. Right? Top 10 right there. I'm looking at Colin Morikawa, Anita. I know it's not a name we really haven't heard that much, but he leads the tour in birdie or better percentage inside of 150 yards, right? So we know, we've been saying it for years, elite iron player. I think he's going off at 25-1 for a win. And I can't believe I'm saying this. He's like a value pick, right? Is that insane? I just think he's so accurate coming in. I like those 2 guys. I hope I didn't steal any of your thunder with those 2 picks. I know you mentioned Seth before, but who do you have coming in the 10?
Yeah, I like. Have we decided, is it Oberg or Aberg? I believe it's Oberg. I like him finishing in the top 10. I also like him to win without Scotty, without Rory, without Bryson, and without Rahm. So
Okay.
eliminate them.
That's an interesting bet, right?
Right? Like
Yeah.
eliminate them from the top of the leaderboard 14 to 1. 14 to 1 to potentially win. Also, top Nordic at plus 190. Not bad there. Listen, close
Top
to winning.
Nordic?
Close to winning
Hold on, are there that many Nordics playing that you have the top Nordic?
at plus 190?
How many Nordics are playing?
I think like 4.
Okay.
Like who knew? But came close to winning the Canadian Open. I think that there's some really good value here. Driving, we've been talking about it, will be paramount, and that's his game. His last 5 rounds have been, sub 69, and finished 12th in his U.S. Open debut last year. So I think he can build off of that. So that's who I have in my top 10. Do you want to know my top? Well, I'll save it. Tell me.
No,
tell me-
you're on a
tell
roll.
me-
Go
Tell
ahead.
me your top 5 and who you like to and
All
who
right,
you like
so
to win.
I got 3 more names, and now we're getting into the upper echelon. Right now we're getting into the heavy hitters. So for me, 2 guys in the top 5. You mentioned him earlier in the show, right in the beginning. Jon Rahm, right? Quiet contender, super powerful game, not really flashy, right? But super steady. Tied for 10th at the PGA this year. I love the greens and regulation number, just about 70%, which is huge. Top 20 in scrambling. I like his creativity, if that makes sense, right? I like how he can golf his way around the course. I've been really impressed with his putting stroke of late, which I think he's been working on quite a bit. And I think he's got all of the tools. This is a very demanding golf course, and he's got all the tools. He played Oakmont as an amateur and finished in the top 25th. I think it was 23rd, I'm sorry. And even when he's not in peak form, he's still always a contender in the majors. And this is one thing when we talk about the golf course, that how it's kind of bringing the mass together. It's such a tough golf course that no one's really going to go out there and run away with it. So that's why I like Rahm. I also like Mr. Reliable himself, Xander Schauffele. 8 straight top 15s at majors. Quietly consistent, mentally strong. And I think we haven't mentioned that word yet, being mentally strong in an event like this. Not letting it get away from you. Not letting your game get unraveled by a bad lie or something, a terrible shot or a tough approach in this rough. I think he's got that demeanor. He's got a strong, open resume. And I think he's very smart on the golf course, right? He plays to spaces. He doesn't let the course overpower him. He kind of plays the course the way it's being asked to be played. And I think that's really great for tough setups. And now, for me, is it going to be real easy to pick Scotty Scheffler? It's an easy pick to win, but I'm not. And I love Scotty, but I'm picking Bryson DeChambeau. Okay? Just most impressed with his short game, with his putting, slayed the dragon again. I think he thrives in situations where the golf course is hard and scores are high. He can bomb it. He can gouge it out of the rough if he has to. He can overpower some of these long par 4s. Number 1 and number 10 are really tough holes right out of the gate. And because he's so long off the tee, I think he has an advantage over the other players. You have to be mentally and physically strong at Oakmont, and I think he embraces both. So I'm going with Bryson. Who do you got?
So for me, I'm with you on Rahm. I've got Rahm winning at 12 to 1. I got Rahm winning without Scotty. So eliminate Scotty off the board. That's at plus 850. Rahm top 5 plus 260. Rahm top 10 plus 135. Also, I've got him finishing as the top live player at plus 280. I really like that. That might be my favorite play. I'm with you. Perfect long game to succeed here. He's really in great form. You're seeing a different motivational factor. Like the Spaniard has his mojo back.
Yeah.
And I think, tied for 14th at the Masters, tied for 8th at the PGA Championship, top 10 in 10 of his last 18 majors, leads the LIV Tour in greens and regulation percentage. Again, another
Ding,
metric
ding,
we've been
ding.
talking
Yep.
about.
Every time we say greens and regulation, we have to take a shot. That'll be like our next
We
drinks
have to take a
game.
shot. If that's the case, our viewers and our listeners would be pretty hammered by the time the show is over, because I know we have mentioned it a lot. Two final points I want to make before we sign off, and one is, I'm with you. Listen, is Scotty going to win? Listen, he's favored. He's favored to win at plus 270. I just don't think that those are great odds.
Yeah.
Now, I'll say this: if the tournament begins and Scotty is like I don't know, a few shots off, if Scotty's like anywhere between like 3 to 4 shots off, and that plus 250 is now sitting at like 6 to 1 or 7 to 1 or plus 550, you know what? I'll go sprinkle some coin on it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to wait. I'm going to see how Scotty starts. If he's like anywhere between, 4 to 5 shots back, and you're looking at something that's 5 to 1, if not better, then I'll go to the window and I'll put money. That's how I'm going to play Scotty Scheffler, if I'm going to play him at all. And I'll leave you with this. I've got Rory to miss the cut at plus 290. He shot a 78 the second round of the Canadian Open. Did not look good at Quail Hollow, having those driver issues. His iron play has not been good. And I really question, you said he shot an 81 in a practice round this week. I question, how hungry is he after he won the Masters and he's completed the Grand Slam? Could there be like a hunger factor here? Like, been there, done that, got the free T-shirt.
Yeah. Did he say, all right, I got my Masters, I'm out?
John, we lost. There you go.
I'm here.
There we
Am
go.
I here?
I wonder.
I lost it like Rory's driver for a second.
I just wonder. I wonder if there's a lack of hunger issue now with him.
Yeah. I don't know if that's so much the case, but maybe in his subconscious that is. Like he slayed the dragon, he checked the box. Now he's just, it's just all gravy from here on out. But it just makes me nervous off the tee with him. I hate to say it, because he can go from such a great driver of the golf ball. He's so long, and he can overpower golf courses, but it's just everywhere. It's everywhere.
So we're on the same page with Scotty Scheffler. We both think he's got a really good shot of winning, but we're not going to the window on him.
I don't like those numbers.
I don't like the numbers either. We're both on the same page in regard to Rory, although I'm going to the window and I'm laying down a wager that he's going to miss the cut. And again, you could get that at plus 290. I'm all over Rahm. You like Rahm, but your guy is Bryson DeChambeau.
Yes, that's correct.
And we sprinkled in a few other plays for you. Hopefully, we will have made you some money come the end of Father's Day on Sunday. So we so appreciate you tuning in. John, happy Father's Day to you and yours and your wonderful and beautiful family.
Much. Thank you.
Always appreciate hosting these major preview shows with you.
For sure.
Again, this is our third in the book this season. We still have the Open coming your way in July, so stay tuned for that. Please, we love that you subscribe. Please comment. We'd love to know who you like heading into the tournament. How are you going to the window? Who are you playing? We always like to read the messages as well. And good luck this weekend. Enjoy Father's Day weekend. And, of course, enjoy the U.S. Open.